Here you can see it save a lot of over time to digitize over river central line. If we go on using digital elevation model in ArcGIS, we have to be more attentive, and I think you cannot be easily digitize it. But you can use also the base map, but the base map is a specific time span data, so that's why I have used the Google Earth instead of base map. And if you own the base map, your ArcGIS file will become too much high, so it is and so it is another problem for you to use your base map in ArcGIS. So that's why a lot of other reasons we have used the Google Earth Pro due to their easiness. In the same way, we will digitize all other layers and convert it into the layer. Then we have to save these layer are nothing for us still, because these are just the conversion. We have to save it as a layer. So we will convert the we will export the export data and input data. Here you can say that we have already write the river layer, but for your reference I will perform it here. River stream layer. He is asking whether you want to add it. I will say no. Okay. Okay, let's remove these. Okay. Now we will add over RAS layer data. Here we have saved in the exercise. These are the stream central line. You can see you have added it here. These are the layer. You can use it on another tools software. You can export it. You can copy paste anywhere. But the first file which will not be in your use. Okay. In the same way, we have developed our over other layers which consist of bank layer, flow path, and cross section. We have already surveyed layer. So the next one is I had already converted the bank layer from KMZ. So we will just add it one by one. Here is our bank lines, and then the second is flow path layer. There is a flow path. I will highlight it. Okay. Okay. We have know the required layer. We have required to develop the geometric data of HEC-RAS. No, still we do not have developed any geometric data for HEC-RAS. No, we will perform to develop the geometric data for HEC-RAS using ArcGIS. These are the HEC-GeoRAS tool using the HEC-GeoRAS tool. The next step is I have provided in 44 slide setting up HEC-GeoRAS. The first one is layer setup. Okay, I will going to off all of these layers one by one. Okay. Pay attention to the layer drop downs. You will see when we develop the HEC-GeoRAS geometric layers, they will specify their name with himself. First one is streamline. You can change the name, but I think it is useful to remain at default, because they have to automatically readjust their layers in some layer features. You can see in upcoming layers. Okay, these okay. We will digitize one by one instead of making all of the layers at once. You can also develop bank lines in one go, flow path, cut line, but you have to then again edit and digitize individually. So I will go individually manner. Here first of all we will go to edit features. You can use it, or you have an extension up there, start editor, but I will prefer to go this option. Okay, stream layer, continue. These are over the stream feature we are going to edit. You can see we do not have any attribute table. Let me stop first. You can see we do not have any input feature in the river layer, but after digitization and extraction you will see it. Now let's go. Okay, we have to find over the river layer. We have digitized from Google Earth. Where it is? Here is our river stream. Okay, instead of digitizing, because we have spent time in Google Earth, so we should be benefit from it. So we can use the trace option instead of segment drawing. You can draw your segment in ArcGIS using this tool, but we will use trace tool to digitize our layers within seconds. You can see we do not have need to pay any attention, but you have to pay attention at the end, because you have to double click your feature which you have digitized to end the command. Otherwise they will re-digitize your feature in the back way, and you will not be able to distinguish it. Instead the path, the length will be added in your attribute tables. Okay, save edit. First of all, save edit and then stop edit. Okay, we will off this feature. Let's see what we have got. No, we have got the shape length. What if you double digitize your feature? Just add up the values here. Nothing. The remaining attributes will be extracted after when we compute the HexGeoRAS layer setup. Okay, I think I have first forget about the step layer setup, but you can also perform it at the end. You can perform it before, because we are just digitizing our data. We are not extracting. So you can also set up your layer at the end too. No, we will set up it at the end. No. Okay, we have digitized river. We will no. Second is bank lines. Okay, bank lines. Okay. Before going to digitize over bank line, I will prefer to assign the ID to my river, which consists of name and reach name. Here, river name Swan. And reach name. You can specify your reach name according to your requirement. I just remembering where it is located. Okay, we have assigned it. We do not require to highlight the river. Now the second point is our bank line. Okay, this is the RAS layer setups. You can follow it on 46 slide, up to 46 slide. Okay, right click, continue. We do not require this feature. Here is our feature required. Then our banks. Where is the bank layer? Here is the bank layer. We have two layers in banks. First one is left bank, another is the right bank. We will first digitize our left bank, then we will digitize our right bank. We'll use the same tool, trace. I have just zoomed just to tentatively mark over. I hope everyone is following me. If you have any problem or any question, you can write in message. Okay, we have to save the edit and stop edit. The same feature will be extracted here. Shape length, first layer. I have highlighted it. This is our highlighted feature. left bank. Okay, the next feature is over. I will close it, so we will not create any mess here. Flow path center line. Here the stream center line is defined. Yes, we have to define the stream center line in our river. Do you want to copy the existing stream center line shape tool into the flow path? Yes, we want to, because we do not want to spend more time on the same feature. Okay, here they have just copied the river from river layer in the flow path, but we have required the other two layers, which consist of our left bank, left flow path, floodplain path. You can say that, are the right floodplain path or flow path. The flow path basically the path, the flow path basically the path the flow of the river will follow in case of flood season or in normal, if they have overtopped their banks. Okay, the procedure is the same. Edit feature, continue, flow path. Okay, we have already digitized, automatically copy the river. We require two other layers. Here is the two other layers. First one, we will digitize the left. No, we will have to select the race before editing. Okay. Double click. Let me change its color. Okay. We have to save edit. We have to stop it. We have to close over here. Here is the three layers feature of flow path, center streamline, banks, and no, we have to specify these lines an ID or name. What does it mean? Because the system still not able to read what is which. Here is the, you can say that the channel is automatically copied from the river, but two other polylines do not have assigned any line type. Okay, what does it mean by? So we will assign first their IDs, assign. Okay, here you have just to click OK. This is the channel. What does it mean by this line? Yes, you have to specify your line type. If we see it is over left bank side, so it is left side, and it is over right side. Okay, we have assigned. Okay, now the next feature layer is cross section cut line, which is the compulsory and very important feature. Yes, cross section cut line. Okay, so let me check. Here is, you can see that line type has been assigned left and right line, because they were, why we have to assign left and right, because in GeoRAS you can see that the left over bank and right over bank, they measure the distance from these lines reference, left over bank and right over bank distance from downstream cross section cut line. Now the next one is cross section cut line. The procedure is same. Started it, continue. Here, where is our cross section, which we have. Here is our cross section. You can use this, or you can say that you can add your cross section data which you have saved in previous step. I will prefer to add the layer. Stop it. Here in exercise we have saved as a surveyed cross section layer. Okay. Okay. No, you have to digitize those features. There is a lot of different ways to digitize. As we are using the tracer option, you can use to copy the feature from surveyed cross section layer to the cross section cut layer, but we will not prefer this method because sometimes you have assigned different values in your cross section layer, and they will also copy into the cross section cut lines of the head georas. If you have assigned different headers, they are also incorporated. So we will leave it simple, so they can digitize their own header from their natural path. So the point here is to pay attention during the cross section cut line is to you have to digitize your cross section cut line from left bank to the right bank of your river. Here this is our left bank and this is our right bank. We have to digitize from left to right. Okay. Tracer option automatically locate the vertex. You do not have to sometimes zoom in, zoom out. We zoom in just for precise work. Yes, here you have to zoom in because both lines are very near to each other. Okay. Which one? I hope everyone is following. Yes, we will adjust it at the end. Yeah, here another feature I have to show. The dam we have just input here just for reference, as we can see that our layers are on the same places. If you can know of your dam, you can also digitize your layer very easily. You do not have to need at this step.
Wahid, have you any question? Your hands is raised.
My video is not matching with audio. Video is far
Can
lagging
you
behind.
hear?
Wes, have you listened?
On which step the screen has stuck?
Actually,
I will guide
no.
you.
Talha's point is that there is time lag in video. That what they have but he has some resources of internet. So make slowly. So it says point. So do all these processes very slowly. Talha, I think we have also very limited time up to 12:50. So we need to finish this to 12:50.
Okay.
Later,
On which
uh, hope
you
hope
can
we
see
will
that
share
the
also recording. If
on which screen,
That's good, sir.
on
Good.
which step his screen has stuck.
so Muhammad Kashif, have you also any question?
Okay, we have just digitized our cross section.
So
First of all, we have
Faiz,
to save edit.
I
Yes,
think we have a question from Muhammad Kashif.
yeah, please entertain him.
Muhammad Kashif,
Do you allow him to speak? Their microphone. Okay. Now our cross section has been digitized in a couple of minutes instead of making an hour. No, the next step is to extract the feature again against all these layers from using our digital elevation model. But the important point is here is that the step I have leave in previous slide, the layer setup on 44 slide, we will perform it now at the end because you can perform it first and second, no issue at the end. Here, why we require to set up the layer? The layer setup for across processing, pre-processing. Here is with different option, terrain type, terrain and grid data. We do not have developed terrain data. Let me on it. We will use the grid data digital elevation model. Here are of your digital elevation model you have to add in your ArcGIS layer. Will drop down here. We will show the drop down menu. You can choose any one of them. And required layer, we have already digitized river cross section cut line. These lines will develop automatically. And the optional bank lines, flow path, we have developed it. These are other are not compulsory but additional if you have to improve your class model or you have to perform some other study. You can, and Mannington, we do not have here Mannington yet. We will use it in Across 2D model. Okay, we have choose our grid data from which we have to extract our elevation points. Okay. Now we will go through one by one the attribute table before extracting the data. Here you can see that there is no data except the shape length we have digitized because it's only a shape length which we have digitized. The station, river reach, river name, left bank, right bank. No data is still extracted from the model. The same information is available in other layers. Bank line, you can see the north in the river. We do not have any other data. When we extract the data, you can see what's create a difference. So first of all, we will extract the stream central line attribute. Attribute consists of topology, length, station, and elevation. We will select all. Okay, these are the default name. We will use it. Stream profile, river 3D. Here, batch process on stream tools complete successfully. If you face any problem, they will indicate you what is the problem. You have to learn. You will learn how to interpret your errors. The next one layer we have to extract is cross section cut line attributes. which consists of river reach name, stationing, bank station, downstream reach length, and elevation. We will use all. We require all values. Yeah. They automatically assign name. Okay, my window is a little bit slow on other laptops. Okay, we have extracted our required data. Now we will again go to one by one the attribute tables of the layers. First one is open attribute table. You can see that they have read all the required data from their layer setups from digital elevation model with reference. Here you can see the left bank, right bank, length, channel length, reference, and the node name is an optional. We do not digitize it here. And the second is river. You can see that river reach, Swan River, Rawalpindi, nodes, arc length, and etc. In bank, let's see if they have had any. No, they are supporting layers. Okay, the next step is to, if you have a Manning's n value, you can also use to extract n values here, create Manning's n table. You can also create Manning's n table by using the polygon layer instead of line layer, but we will learn it in HackRAS 2D model. In this model, we will learn how to manually incorporate the HackRAS Manning's n values in HackRAS. Though the next step is export RAS data from HackGeoRAS. No, we will export it. Here is our default window. I have already provided the HackGeoRAS export geometry for your reference in case anyone have missed the previous steps or they have faced any problem or errors. But I have tried our best that no error will be generated because we have removed as much as error we can to smooth the today exercise. But we will teach in HackRAS how to interpret your cross-section errors or other geometric errors. Okay. Swan River, HackGeoRAS export geometry. We will make another folder here for your reference. So we will use this. We will name it. GeoRAS. We will use the date system so we can remember when I have generated. Okay. Okay, we have to specify the file name. We will specify the file name as written in the upper bar where my cursor is pointing, GIS2RAS. GIS2RAS. Okay. Now we have set the path. We will just click OK. Okay, GIS data for RAS exported successfully. We have successfully exported over HackGeoRAS geometric data for HackRAS. Okay, we can close these windows. Now, for the time being, we have completed over all of our step on ArcGIS. Now we will move forward to our HackRAS model formation. Let me check where I am on the slides number so you can follow it. Okay. Sign ID. Okay. On 49 slide we have export geometric data. No, we are on slide number 50 in your handout. You can minimize it, you can close it according to your easiness. I will close it so that the burden on my laptop will be reduced. We will, if required any modification or changing, we will again open the same file. I have saved it. Okay. The next thing is importing RAS geometry in HackRAS model on slide number 50. First of all, we go to the geometric editor. This is the geometric editor. We will go there. Here you can see that they are from the RAS mapper. We have shown a digital elevation model. If you want to off your plot terrain, you can use this option up there. View background layers. You can see any background here in shapefile or digital elevation model. You can see here. But the our step 4.1 is creating new geometry. First of all, we will create new geometry, new geometric data. Here is our default folder, Swan River. We will assign the name Swan River DGO. Okay. We have created the the geometric, but we do not have actually the geometric feature inside still. So the next step here is import RAS geometry. The same procedure. Go to the file in drop-down menu, import geometric data and GIS format. We have export over geometry from ArcGIS using HackGeoRAS tool. So the extension is GIS format. Okay, we will use GIS format. Okay, here is the default folder. You can see that GeoRAS export geometry 28 2021. I will use it. Okay, just simply incorporate. Here, HackRAS is again asking, what is your unit of geometry? We have converted our digital elevation model in metric unit, so we use SI metric unit. Next, these are the information which are indicating that these layers are exporting from HackGeoRAS. These are the cross-section data, all of. You do not have required any necessary thing to change or edit. This is the previous. Okay, finish. Here is our export geometric data. Okay. You can see here our river central line is marking, but below the feature, below the line, we do not have a prominent feature in digital elevation model except some points, but they are not in smooth or consistent ways. Okay, these are the geometric data we export from our HackGeoRAS. The next one slide, let me see. Inserting survey value of cross section elevation. Yes, you have to manually insert your cross section data. Here you can see that the below terrain is gone. Why it is gone? It is good to see it is gone because you will learn a new thing here. These below terrain are associated with specific geometries. If your terrain data is not specific, your geometry in RAS mapper, it will not shown in your geometric data editor. So we will again go there in RAS mapper to assign our geometric data layer. You can see that the geometric data is also shown here. Sometimes the errors are blessing because you learn a little deep in anything. Here you can see that bank lines will not be shown here except no, and the flow path will not. Okay, bank station will be shown here. Okay. Bank station basically the markation that your bank lines are following through. Okay, we are here to assign the geometric Okay, one more layer here. Let me off. Here, our terrain name is simply terrain. You can rename your terrain data at the time of creating. Here, only the one. Now we have assigned the geometry. We can save it. No. Okay, no, we have our digital elevation model behind. Okay, the next step on the slide number 50 is inserting survey's values of cross-section elevation. First one, we will see the different parameters we have extracted from XGeoRAS edit cross-section. You can see here that these are the values which was extracted from your digital elevation model. These are the actual value which are expected from your digital elevation model, which is shown beneath the cross section and the layer data. Here is the main input data: left overbank, channel, and right overbank. The flow path lines was used to extract the left overbank, right overbank, and the channel length from one cross section to another cross section. This cross section to this cross section. Okay, we have missing Manning's N value. We will learn in upcoming slides. And the main channel bank station is the left bank and the right bank. These red markation are the bank stations. These are the markation which we have marked on the on Google Earth. These are the markation of our left and right banks. Here is the elevation data station and elevation data against a cross section. No, we have to use, you can run your model with these geometric data also, but the result you are looking will maybe not too smooth in accepting flood inundation mapping, because in flood the flood is already overflowing there over the channels, so we can be accepted. But in precise studies, you can have to use cross survey data, your cross section survey data. Okay, we have to replace these values with our survey data. Here I am going to check one option, plot terrain. Here you can see that the plot terrain. The plot terrain behind your cross section, the same data is expected from using XGeoRAS. Okay. Now, on slide 52, we have provided you the survey data. We will go there. Cross section survey data. Here is the cross section first survey. You do not have any cross section here 1, 2, and 3. You can on your cross section name here. Let me check one by one. Okay, we required only. Okay, these are your station name, which is automatically assigned. You can reassign it, but the actual phenomena between two cross section assigning their name is that they are according to the reach length. No, we will go to replace first cross section in our extracted cross section. Where is the Excel sheet? Let me off this so we make some space. Okay, you have to just copy paste. Okay, when you incorporate your survey data, your left bank and right bank may be displaced. Okay, this is our survey data. Okay, these are the red marks are the left bank and right bank. They are displaced, so you have to adjust it after placing your of survey data. There I can just to 3 decimal point. Okay. This is the next cross section data. Let me verify whether it is okay. These are the second cross section data. Sometimes your data may be a little bit different. Sometimes it is more different according to your cross section survey. Okay, we have to replace all of 71 cross section one by one using this technique. Copy paste, copy the cross survey data, survey cross section data from Excel sheet to paste it into the HEC-RAS window. Okay, we have to incorporate the 71 cross section. If I have incorporate the 71 cross section here, it will require a lot of more time. So I have already developed the model. You can have to see one thing here. Just to remember, this cross section is from the digital elevation model, and this is the survey model. Oh no, the how you can adjust your left bank and right bank. Let me learn this technique. Here is your option. When you right click on your cross section, you can see the graphical cross section editor. Okay, let me check in handout where I have write it. Okay, maybe it is not right in the handout. Okay. No, we have to go graphical cross section editor. You can also go graphical cross section editor from up there. Graphical cross section editor. There's a lot of different ways, but we will go directly from here just to save time. Yes, you have to adjust your cross section here. You can automatically assign your cross section. If you think that this is your min creek, then assign here. If you think that your min creek is this, you can assign your left bank here. It is the hit and trial. You can adjust it at any time in HEC-RAS model by verifying once your model is developed. The next one is this. The technique is same. You can also place your cross section left over bank, right over bank by using this if you do not want to automatically move there. Okay. Because it is left side, it is more uphill than the right hand side. You can verify using Google Earth, but I have just closed the Google Earth. You can then save your geometry. Okay, no, because we do not have replaced all of our cross section data, so I will use the already developed cross section data which we have developed using survey data. But for your reference, you can remember this cross section or anyone this cross section. But I will go through a quickly review. You can see that all of your cross section data look like this. Okay. No, we will use the already developed cross section data. For this technique is same because the same process was repeated. No, I okay. The procedure is same. We will export JS format data. Here is the HackRAS export geometric data. SI units. Finish. Okay. We have cross section data. Okay. You can see here that here is our cross section data. Okay. These are the survey data, and these lines are the terrain below the lines. Okay. They are more uphill, so it is look like this narrow valley. These are the actual. Now the next step in our slide, the 52 slide is complete, and the next slide is 54, inserting many n values. ये इधर चलो चला गया. अच्छा जी, mannings and values, inserting mannings and values. Go to the tables, mannings and values or k values. Here you can assign individual cross section or individual mannings and values, but we will use to replace with one value for each side. First of all, I will show you the reference, the use of mannings and values, where from we have taking these values. Here is the mannings and values. You can see the help menu will be available. Here is the main channel type, floodplain type, and the different properties of channel are available here. You can use, because we over river is one river, the main channel is more stony, and the sides are more eroded, not bushes. So we can use the value of, you can see that stones are 0.35, normal value 0.35, and the far left over bank and the right over bank we can use heavy weeds, mature field crops. No. We can use clear land with tree stems, no sprouts. We can use 0.40 values according to our. Okay. Tables, mannings and values. Select all, set value 0.035, and select all, set value 0.04. In HackRAS 2D model, you have the option to add multiple mannings and values. Okay, save the data. Now, our first step over the formulation of HackRAS 1D model is completed. Formulation of data. Now we will move toward the flow data incorporation. First, we will use the study flow data. Okay, new flow data. We have a study flow. You can see the dot flow. Okay, you can use number of profiles 1 to 3 according to your requirement. We have provided you the discharge data. Here is the discharge data. Okay, for study flow we have different profiles. You can use and profile we can use 600 to 12. You can use for profiles. Maybe you cannot copy in the table of the cross-section editor. Which boundary condition will be specified according to your flow regime, either it is subcritical, supercritical. .4 is selected for our study reach for slope dam. You can use upstream boundary condition for supercritical flow. Anyone non-surface critical rating curve, but here we can use only study flow data. So subcritical flow. Okay. Now we have just complete the second step, flow input, flow data input. Now the third step is flow simulation. After performing study data, we will see how to perform on study data. We have to create new plan data. Okay. If you have to use supercritical, then you have to specify the upstream boundary condition or mixed flow. But we will use subcritical here, flow here. Here we have just completed our first simulation of unsteady flow. Save the data. It is essential to save every step. No, we can see our output. Here is the output over the profile 1, which was consist of 600 cubics. You can see each and every cross section here. Profiles, you can add other profiles also. Okay, here is profile 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the study reach, whole study reach water levels, water profile plot against PF1, PF2, and PF3. You can animate them, but okay, this is the animation tools. We are available here. These are the rating curves table against each cross section. These are the rating curves against each cross section. You can see that when the PF1 hit, PF2 hit, what will be the condition of water surface elevation. These are the 3D view of cross section. You can rotate according to your easiness and your visibility. You can also perform okay. Here is the stage and flow hydrograph. Because we do not have any structure, so we will not have any no hydraulic structure. These are the output in against PF1 in the tabular form, and here is the summary of your cross section against PF1, but here it is shown PF4. You can collect against every PF. Okay, these are the flow simulation of the HEC-RAS 1D model. Now we can perform the unsteady 1D model. for performing unsteady flow model, we have to specify. Yeah, the one more tool which I just forget is the RAS mapper. You can see your output here in the RAS mapper. You do not have need to your export your data and put in ArcGIS. You can also see here. I will just okay. You can see, but due to our train are not modified, we can see also the difference between when our train is not modified and modified. Here the result we have shown is without modification. You can see that here is a more breakage and inconsistencies, but it will be more prominent in unsteady flow simulation. No, we will perform unsteady flow simulation. Please verify because there here is the net issue due to the light interruption. Anyone? Anyone from the participant can verify that he is listening me?
Participant cannot verify because they cannot unmute.
Oh,
Okay, अब चलो
okay,
आवाज आ रही
okay, thank you. Okay. No, we have to perform. I think everyone have seen the study flow simulation results because I do not have any information where it was stuck. No, we will perform the unstudy flow simulation. We have just clicked the unstudy flow simulation window to incorporate the flow data. Here we have the fix the time according to our required data, which is 29 July onward. Okay, it is basically the 1 day data. We have to remember these dates. Okay. No, we have to specify the downstream boundary condition. The 1 to 1 is the last cross section in the reach, which we have to specify the normal depth here 0.4. It is pre-computed using land use and slope maps. Okay. Save the unstudy flow data. Is my screen clear? Is us? Sir, can you verify? Is my screen is clear? No. Sir, is my screen is clear to you? Mobile data on करो. Sir, my screen is visible?
Yes, visible Awais.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, now we have to perform the unsteady flow simulation. We have already performed steady flow simulation. I have just incorporated the inflow data, which consists of flow hydrograph. We have used the flow hydrograph of Swan River discharge gauge from 29 July 2018 to 16 August 2018. It is basically the one-day data, and we have the peak discharge of 300 cubics. The normal depth, I have specified the normal depth for the downstream, which is 0.4. No, we can perform the unsteady flow simulation. Here is the unsteady flow simulation window. First, we have to create new plan. Do you want to save the existing plan? No, we will create the new plan. Okay, we have to first specify our start date. From July 29, but we will use it 31 just for the cushion. 00 end date, and we have the incorporated data from up to 16 August. We will use it up to 15 August. Okay. Then the second most important step in the flow analysis is the computation interval. The long computation interval will generate the instabilities and more errors. The small computation interval will minimize the errors. But we will use according to our data. We will use 3-minute interval. Let's see. And the output hydrograph, you can specify output hydrograph according to your requirement, because if I have used 1 hour requirement, then it will generate 12 files per day. So I will use to 6 hourly data. And now check the geometric processor, unsteady flow simulation, and post processor. You can individually perform one by one check, but I have checked all in once. So you can see in the computation window, first of all, geometric processor, unsteady flow simulation. Here is the conversion and divergent error, which you can be minimized using the smaller time step for smaller computation interval. But it has a minimum range. So if we can see that, we have a value maximum in 0 point within over acceptable range. Okay, here is some error. You can see that warning extrapolated above cross section table, this maximum cross over 0.7. You can adjust it by modifying little bit your cross section, but we will see the output result first, then we will try to readjust the values. Okay. let's move a little further downstream. No, I will. The flow depth is showing according to our input data, discharge data. If you have a minimized data and it cannot reach there, you will not see anything. The same way you can from here, because the values was too small inside. Okay. The same way you can see your values here for 1D. In 2D you cannot see these windows. Let's the simulation in. We have only the highest value of 300 in our flow hydrograph. Okay. Let's try another flow data with 1200 at that time, so we can see the proper propagation of the flood. At that time we will use small time interval. You can see that the maximum height of the flood was this and the minimum this, but we will see the animation. Maybe we can see. These animation is showing according to the terrain data we have incorporated here. This is the original 30-meter dam. It is not a modified dam. We will after 2D across model we will see it.